Hey, good evening. Good evening, everyone out there in the fantastic Facebook land. And to those of you watching on YouTube, my name is Jeremy Dysock. I am a FICO certified credit coach with Credit Life Financial Wellness Program. And this is something I do every single week. I do something called the Daily Credit Report. Now, I used to be on Wednesdays. So if you're wondering why you're seeing me today, I have switched to Mondays. So it's going to be Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time, live right here in the Free Credit Repair Advice Group on Facebook and live on YouTube. So if you're watching me, throw up a like, subscribe on YouTube, on Credit TV, subscribe to my daily credit reports, give me a thumbs up, smash that button. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and for my Facebook audience, I'm going to pin this video to the top of the group. We're going to mark it as an announcement, and we're going to get up here. So this topic I'm doing tonight. This topic I'm doing tonight's been a hot button topic in our free credit repair advice group, the group on Facebook with 73,000 people in it. So for those of you watching right now live on YouTube on the Credit TV, CREDI TV on Credit TV channel, for those of you watching live, you may be wondering, okay, what made them pick this topic, authorized users, tonight? Well, we've gone about a week with a very, very heavy discussion line going in our free credit repair advice group on Facebook about authorized users. So tonight, we are going to talk about authorized user accounts in what I call authorized users. Users, confusers, losers, abusers. We're going to talk about all things authorized user. So while the group fills up, while the live fills up a little bit, I want to remind you, if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the comments section, and I'll be doing a Q&A. I'll be answering questions for you live here on this Facebook Live tonight. So if you do have a question, go ahead and put it into the comments section so that I can address that for you. And while it's filling up, I see we're starting to get a number of people in here. Hey, if you know me from the group, go ahead, say hi, drop a hello in the comments, give a thumbs up. In the meantime, while it's filling up, I'm going to remind you, if anyone would like to have me, Jeremy Dysock, FICO Certified Credit Coach with Credit Life, as your Credit Life coach, you can book an initial consultation at no cost by going to www.bookcoachjd.com, or just look at what's on the bottom of my video here, bookcoachjd.com. We'll set up a discovery call to talk about your credit, talk about your goals, and put together a plan, steps, action items, and get you enrolled in the Credit Life program to get your score and profile in position for those goals. www.bookcoachjd.com. All right, so we're going to hop over into the free credit repair advice group. I'm monitoring a couple different places for comments right now. I want to make sure that we don't miss anybody. Awesome. Hang on one second there. Perfect. All right, so authorized user accounts. Many people have come to the free credit repair advice group on Facebook, the group with 73,000 people in it there, right? Many of you have come in and you've seen these posts, or you've posted these posts, or you've seen these questions, or you've asked these questions. Hey, if I get signed on to my husband's account, my wife's account, my mother's account, my father's account, my daughter's account, my son's account, if they get signed on to my credit card as an authorized user, that'll help raise their scores, right? Because I tell you, my mortgage lender told me to do it. My banker told me to do it. My credit professional that I've hired told me that if I want to raise my score fast, that I should get added as an authorized user. You may even have been dealing with someone who said, hey, you know what you want? You want trade lines. You want to buy trade lines. You want to buy, you know what? You can pay money. You can be added a $5,000 10-year-old seasoned trade line, and it's going to spike your credit through the roof. Many of you may be watching this and going, well, I did the authorized user. I'm proof. I know it worked for me. It worked for me. It worked for me. You don't know what you're talking about because it worked for me. We're going to dispel all of the myths and talk about the correct things when it comes to authorized users right now. Okay. The very first thing we're going to go into, since I'm a FICO certified credit coach, is we're going to go into how FICO looks at authorized users. So FICO, that's the credit score that's used for lending. That's the credit scoring model used by 95% of all lending institutions in the United States. The three newest incarnations of the FICO algorithm, FICO 8, FICO 9, FICO 10. They do not give the weight to authorized user accounts that would be needed to raise your score for lending. Okay? They do not give the weight. But I am an authorized user and I have my FICO for credit monitoring and I saw my score go up. Fantastic. I'm not sure what I should hit first. Okay, FICO, my FICO, that credit monitoring company, my FICO, or your bank, or your credit card, or if you're watching on Credit Karma, that's not even FICO, that's Vantage scores. You may think your score went up because the Consumer Disclosure Scorecard gave it weight and the score went up. The problem is your Consumer Disclosure Scorecard that you get on my FICO, or as us professionals call it, my FICO, because they're FICO scores, they're not your real scores. The consumer-facing scorecard is used by 0 lenders in the world. None. Not one. So you think you're getting a score boost. Oh, my number went up. Well, I hope that makes you happy because you've accomplished nothing. Being an authorized user is not the way to obtain better credit. And if you use your brain, if you think about it for a second, you stop thinking with your emotions and I want a higher score, I'm so happy, and you start using your head, what bank in their right mind would lend you money based on somebody else's history of repayment? Let that sink in. If your friend Bob came up to you and said, I want to borrow $2,000 from you. And you go, Bob, man, I don't know how you are with your finances. And Bob goes, well, I'll have you know that Chuck Johnson has me as an authorized user on his credit card, and Chuck Johnson never made a late payment, so I'm good for it. But Bob, as an authorized user, you're not obligated for that debt. Well, no, but Chuck Johnson had a good history. But Bob, you didn't make those payments. No, but Chuck Johnson was great. Bob, you show no history and willingness to repay in a timely fashion. Why the hell would I lend you money? Does that make sense? So the banks are looking at you as an authorized user. First of all, I'll have you know from being married to an underwriter, that's a red flag, number one. It's a red flag when you're an authorized user. They look further into you, not get all happy because look how the scores got bull crap. They look further into you, they scrutinize your account more, and they're looking for a reason to decline you because you're trying to pass off somebody else's credit history as yours. That's all being an authorized user is. It's trying to pass off someone's, from a credit standpoint, I'll say. I'm going to put a little asterisk next to it. From a credit standpoint, being an authorized user is simply trying to pass off somebody's credit as your own. And you don't get credit for that in the real world. Now, I swear to God, you may be going, my mortgage lender told me. I know mortgage lenders who have been suggesting to get on a card as an authorized user to raise your score. Those are what we affectionately call morons, okay? The reason that they, and I can say it without fear of contradiction, the reason they are morons is because Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, and USDA federal underwriting guidelines require that authorized user accounts for real estate transactions be specifically disallowed. That's the words, specifically disallowed from consideration. What they will do is raise a red flag and make them wonder why you're trying to trick a bank into giving you $100,000 for someone else's credit. So it will make it worse, not better. But my mortgage lender, my loan officer said to do it. Your loan officer knows how to read a credit report. Your banker knows how to read your credit report. A realtor may know how to read a credit report, but none of these people are capable, competent, qualified, or trained in what actually goes into the thing. But they're so freaking egotistical that they think they know because they get to read them. Seriously, some of the stupidest people that you're ever going to meet in your life are these loan officers. Why do I know this? I owned a mortgage corporation. I trained them. So wait a minute. So Jeremy, what you're telling me is my mortgage lender at Rocket Mortgage, at ABC Mortgage, at Continental or Centennial, or at Bob's Mortgage and frickin' Bait Shop in Tallahassee, Florida, they said I should add it to qualify for mortgage. And you're telling me it won't work? Correct. You're telling me it won't help? Correct. But I saw my score go up. You didn't see it on a lender report, because you'll never see it on a lender report, because the 3 latest incarnations of the FICO algorithm specifically disallow it from the consideration. So authorized users don't work. Now, wait a minute. What if I do the shopping for my mom? She's older, she doesn't get around, and she wants to have me as an authorized user on her card and go and buy the groceries with it. Well, then congratulations, you're using authorized user as what it was actually designed for, to be an authorized user of the account. Red flags. If you're being made an authorized user and you don't have a card, you're not an authorized user. If you're being made an authorized user and you're not related, mom, dad, brother, sister, son, daughter, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, other, I can't even keep track these days. If you don't have a real relationship, you're not an authorized user. If you're not allowed to spend money on the account, you're not an authorized user. If you can't spend money on the account, you're not an authorized user. You're someone who is trying to scam the system by passing off somebody else's credit history as your own. And guess what? Banks are not stupid. FICO is not stupid. They're going to, though, allow you to have whatever false sense of security you want. Your Vantage scores will go up. Your FICO score on My FICO or My FICO will go up, because those are consumer-facing scorecards. They're not lender scorecards. Here's what I mean. So there are over 10 different versions of the FICO algorithm, and it's kind of like an iPhone 2, an iPhone 3, an iPhone 4, an iPhone 5. You know, they have these different versions. Well, within each version, there are a number of scorecards, up to 29 different scorecards in each version. There are insurance scorecards, car lending, automotive scorecards. There are bank lending scorecards, credit card scorecards. There are scorecards to help determine all the background checks for jobs. There's background checks for rentals, and they are all different scorecards. Well, there's a scorecard in each version that is a consumer-facing scorecard. And that's what you get from My FICO or My FICO. That's what you get from CreditWise through Capital One. That's what you get through your Discover card. That's what you get from wherever you're getting it from, Navy Fed, whomever. They say it's FICO 8. Yes, it's a version of FICO 8. It's one of 29 versions of FICO 8. And it's not the one that's used for lending. So literally you could print it out and look at your pretty score on the paper and be like, you could show it to people like your that, and an origami class will let you make a swan out of that page. That is literally all it's good for. All right, it's not for lending. So authorized user accounts are not to be depended upon for score increases to qualify for lending. Trade lines, buying trade lines. There are people who sell authorized user spots on other people's cards. Those people are what we affectionately call criminals. It's a federal crime to commit bank fraud. There are people sitting in prison right now for trade lines, for selling trade lines and buying trade lines. And you don't get to go to like little county prison with a commissary. You go to federal pound me up the ass prison, the nasty prison. It's not like fun and games. Not the federal penitentiary ones where they got the golf course and the white collar. No, you're in there with Bubba, who sees a fresh meal. All right. It doesn't take any longer to do this right. And by the way, it gives you actual results, and they're actually permanent. It doesn't take any longer to do this right. In fact, it's less expensive to do it right. Instead of being an authorized user, why don't you, I don't know, build your own credit? Open your own revolving accounts. But Jeremy, I can't get qualified for an account. B as in B, S as in S. Have you tried Open Sky? They don't do a credit check. Literally, you need to be able to have a pulse and be alive, and they'll give you one. Then there's First Premier. It's got lots of fees, but hey, it's better than nothing. Merrick Secured, Discover Secured. Secured cards, what's a secured card? That's where you say, I want a $200 limit Discover card. And they go, fantastic, give me $200. And you give them $200 and they put it into an account that you do not get to touch. And that acts as a security instrument for the card. Now you get a Discover card. It's got a $200 limit and it's a regular Discover card. Charge it up, charge it down, pay it off, use it again. As long as you're happy with the bank, bank's happy with you, they'll keep revolving forever. And eventually Discover will, at some point in time, after you've done nice for a long time, they will give you the $200 back. They'll raise your limit. And now you've got an unsecured card. And congratulations, you built your own trade line. You became your own user, not an authorized user, but an actual user with actual credit to get an actual credit score to actually qualify for things. But if you charge it up to $200 and you skip town, they got their money back. All right. So do not be an authorized user or abuser or a loser, or a lot of people come in a confuser. They don't know what's going on. Now you're going to see a lot of people who, it worked for me. It worked for me. It worked for me. I'm going to cue you guys in. You may think I'm direct. You may think I'm blunt. You may think I'm rude. You may think I'm an asshole. You're probably onto something. But I'm only ever going to give it to you straight, direct, the honest to goodness truth. And in the free credit repair advice group and at Credit Life, we don't teach it worked for me. It worked for me. It worked for me, but it worked for me. I prove, you're wrong. It worked for me. Okay, you could build a house out of toothpicks, and guess what? It worked for you, but you're stupid. And it could have been built better if you'd used something like boards, right? So just because it worked for you doesn't mean it's best practice. We teach best practice. We teach compliance. The reason I'm teaching you this is best practice and compliance. No, it worked for me. It worked for me. My score went up. Fantastic. You don't understand what you were looking at. It didn't work for you. I don't know how much more blunt and direct, and I don't care if it's rude or mean or what condescending. I don't give a crap at this point. I spent the last 2 weeks battling it worked for me, battling misinformation, blatantly pukish, dangerous in some cases, illegal in other cases, misinformation about authorized users. And for the love of Christ and all things holy, I don't know why people don't listen. So I'm going to ask you guys, you know this now. You know that authorized user doesn't work and why. You know I've talked to you about Fico and how it works and how it doesn't factor it in. I've talked to you about the mortgage underwriting. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA underwriting all specifically disallow authorized user accounts from consideration. So not only do they take it out, take score bumps away, but it raises red flags. It's a double no-no. You all know this now. I want you guys to be my champions in the free credit repair advice group on Facebook. If you see people talking about authorized users, stop them. Stop them dead in their tracks. Authorized user accounts are not how you build credit. Authorized user accounts don't positively impact your FICO score. Authorized user accounts, buying them is a crime. Authorized user accounts are for getting granny groceries. GGG. Getting granny groceries. They're not to boost your score. No, they don't work. It worked for me. We don't teach it worked for me. I could take all the it worked for me's, and I promise you I could look at each and every one of your credit reports. I could pick it apart, and I could tell you exactly why something went up, something went down, and I could show you how that didn't do a damn thing when you were at it as an authorized user. Why is this misinformation so profound? Well, it's because people used to be credited for authorized users, and here's why. Because men used to go to work and women used to stay home, raise the kids, and take care of the house. But women needed to have credit. So they could be an authorized user on hubby's account and they actually got scoring for it. And then morons started to abuse it. And so they took it away. Basically, people being greedy, stupid, whatnot, trying to be sneaky or tricky, you ruined it for everybody. You broke it. You broke the toy. No one gets to play with the toy anymore. You broke the toy. All right. I'm going to jump down. I'm going to get into a couple of questions here. Oh, yeah. Rick, yeah. Rick mentioned what I did. Okay, so here's the deal. I've got 27 years of credit and banking experience. I'm the former branch manager of a bank. I've been a consumer lender. I have been a commercial business lender. I have been a mortgage lender. I've been the CEO of a mortgage corporation. I have done foreclosure mitigations. I fought banks on behalf of consumers to help them keep their homes. I'm certified by the American Institute of Banking, the AIB, in consumer lending. I'm certified in the Fico algorithm. I am a coach of Credit Life. I started the group of 75,000 people y'all are sitting in. I've taught at colleges in financial foundations and credit. I've been a teacher for the Minneapolis school system in the community ed in financial foundations and credit. I've done bankruptcy advising. I'm sure I'm missing things. Budgeting. Done advising for a lot of large mortgage firms, telling them to fire most of their people so they didn't have to fire all their people. The reason I'm doing this is not to brag. The reason I'm doing this is to say, you might want to listen. You might want to listen. You might want to take the advice of someone who knows, who does this for a living. And I'm making $0 to stand here and teach you this. I'm doing this because I care. For God knows what reason, I'm doing it because I care. I'm doing it because I actually care about what happens to you guys, but not even just you guys. I always say the same thing. I always say, every time I do my job right, a kid gets a backyard to play in. A kid gets a bedroom of their own to paint with Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse, to paint with Paw Patrol, to paint with, I think we're up to Storybots now, right? Every time I do my job right, your kids are going to have a place to look back on in their memories, thinking about being around the table at Thanksgiving and the smells and the family and the house. And it was the same house the next year and the year after and the year after. It's no longer the apartment where a couple of the kids are crammed in one bedroom, where they can't go out to play because they have to cross the parking lot and people drive too fast in the parking lot. And they don't know who their friends are going to be next year, or who's going to move, or who's going to stay, or what school they're going to be in. No, every time I do my job right, and that includes teaching you guys right now, everything I'm trying to teach you, if you can understand, it's kind of passionately about this authorized user fiasco. Every time I do my job right, kids get a home. And that's really powerful. And that's why I'm like this. That's why I'm direct. I'm blunt. If I'm rude, fine, I'm rude. If I'm kind of fine, want me to be kind of, I'm kind of, what, I don't care. Every time I do my job right, a kid gets a yard to play in. And I'm a dad. I got 7 kids, so it's a huge motivator for me. Does this make sense? Give me some thumbs up. Give me some ones in chat if this is valuable, if learning about this authorized user misconception is valuable. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some ones in chat if you're watching me live on YouTube, or if you're watching one of the replays in the free credit repair advice group on Facebook, or if you're watching one of the replays on YouTube on Credit TV. If you're on Credit TV, man, smash that subscribe button, hit like, give me some thumbs up. But I want some feedback from you if this is valuable. I'm going to answer some questions in just a sec. I want you, if you got credit questions, it doesn't have to be about authorized users. If you've got credit questions, throw them into the comments, and I'm going to get to them. I'm going to answer them. We're going to get this going. Okay. But in the meantime, if you'd like to hire Credit Life, if you would like to have a professional A+, Better Business Bureau rated credit service organization, financial wellness company working for you, if you want me to be your employee, if you want me to be your coach, your leader, your director, and on your team and seeing you win, book a discovery call right now. Go to, scrolling across the bottom. Let's see if we can do this. There we go, because everything's reversed on the computer. You want to go to www.bookcoachjd.com to book a consultation to enroll with this fun FICO certified Credit Life, little r, Coach Jeremy Dysock today. Go to www.bookcoachjd.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a consultation. I set aside a bunch of time for your discovery call here. We talk about, anyone who's my client, pipe up and tell these people. I always ask the same thing. What's going on with your credit? What are your goals? And what prompted you to reach out? And we talk about this. And then I talk about what we do, and I see if you're a match. And frankly, I see if you're motivated. Not everyone's a fit, right? I need to work with people I can work with, people who are like, damn it, I want a house for my kids. I'm sick of paying my landlord's mortgage. My children deserve it. My kids right now, I could show you, are out in the backyard. Yeah, excuse the 2 crushed pools. They're out jumping around on the trampoline. Okay? I didn't always own a house. I was a young dad, a real young dad. I had bad credit, real bad credit. But I made some changes. If you want that, if you want your kids to have their own backyard to play in, go to www.bookcoachjd.com. Book your discovery call. We'll get you enrolled in the Credit Life program. I'll be your coach, and we're going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting for whatever it takes to get your score and profile and position to be a homeowner. Maybe this year. It's not over yet. www.bookcoachjd.com. Let's go into the comments. All right, let's see what we got. We got some ones. We got some excellent. Let's see what we got. Hey, a bunch of highs. I see Cheryl's here, Juan's here, Jessica's here, Javier's here, Cassandra I see is here. Yeah, there's Rick saying, Jeremy, like most of us coaches, worked in banking, we know how to give away their money. You darn right. I know how to take all the money from the bank for you. Someone said here, I added my son. Okay, this is good. No, this is a great dialogue. I added my son on mine because he's away at school. I got him his own cards now. Should I remove him? Sometimes I need him to do stuff for me. No, that's right. That's an authorized user. I've got my kids on as an authorized user account. I got real smart. So I opened a checking account with no checks. And I got each of my kids an authorized user account for that. And yes, it's a little different than credit, but hear me out. And I got it at my regular bank, and it's not the regular checking account I use because at a moment's notice, I can drop infinity money into it. Yeah, right. Like I have infinity money. I can drop $100 into it, and they can get a bus ticket if they're stranded. They can get a hotel if they're stranded. They can get some food if they're hungry. They can fix their tire on their car if it's busted. That's what I did for them. It's the same as what you're doing. That is the proper use. You get it. You get it. You get it. You get it. That's the proper use for authorized users. I congratulate you. You're doing it right. That's what it's for. I don't want you doing it because you think you're building their credit and you think that it's going to give them a fresh start, which if you want to give them a fresh start, trust me, I've got other videos I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to start your kids on the right path. I'll teach you here in the group. It won't cost you anything. I want every kid to have good credit. Well, once you turn 18, because before that, you don't have credit. Should I remove him? No. You're using it properly. I am very proud of you. That's proper. All right. I got some thumbs up, got some ones in chat. That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh-oh, we got a softball question. I like softball questions. It's a Ricky Bobby. Why should my partner also now have their own buying power even if they're not working? Okay, here's one. What if you die? What if you're married or partnered or togethered or, I don't know, wife and husband, and wife and husband, and wife. And again, there's like, if this is like a math thing, there's like, I could win the lottery probably before I get the gender combinations correctly. I don't do political correctness well. And if you're offended by it, don't get mad because it's not intentional. It's just, I really don't understand it. So, and I don't want to learn. So, anyway, if you're married and you've got all the credit and the house is in your name and stuff like that, and you die, your husband or wife or whatnot is screwed unless they've got good credit too. Why? Because they may need to refinance the house in their name. It may not even be in their name, and part of probate is they have to get a loan on it. Why? Because everything. I mean, seriously, you got to make sure everybody's got a good credit profile. But my favorite blunt thing to say is, what if you die? I'm not always pleasant, I tell you. All right. Here, Nisi says, Question, if they remove something from my credit and add it back on, is that a violation? Sort of. Maybe. I don't know. I'd need more context. If you went on Credit Karma and disputed it online, it went away and it came back, no, you gave up those rights. That's part of what happens when you do things electronically. You'll hear me use the term snail mail, paper letters. We do it old school. We're Credit Life, we send letters to the bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. They're old school snail mail, paper letters, because what are we trying to do? Paper trail it. And to paper trail it, we want to use paper. There's another reason that I don't always talk about. It's if you do it electronically, you give up a significant number of your rights under the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You give up the right to written results. They can send them to you electronically. You give up the right. They can literally take it off and put it back on the next time it reports. So no, it's not really a violation, sadly. Should be, but it's not. Here's what we got. Told a buddy of mine to take me off as an authorized user so I can build my credit the right way. I had no idea. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. It's totally it. It's not bad that you're on it, but how the hell are you going to know what you're going to qualify? Hi, Thomas. My son's waving at me in the window. How are you going to know what you're qualified for unless you know? The only way to find out is to do this on your own. I want you to stand on your own 2 feet. I don't care if your spouse has an 850 credit score. I want to future-proof you. I want you to stand on your feet. I also want you to learn this stuff so you can pass it on to your children. You know how happy I would be if everyone passed all the credit info onto their kids and nobody ever needed credit help again? I would actually be happy. Don't worry about me. I'd find something else to do. I'm very adaptable that way. And I got a good head for finance. I'll be fine. But I want you guys to teach your kids this stuff. They don't teach it in school. So mom, dad, brother, sister, son, daughter, it's up to you. That's awesome. What else we got? We did the Title 15. Here we go. I've been reading up because of me, my lord. Yeah, Title 15. No, yeah, you were smart by saying that. Trust me, I didn't give enough. I guarantee you I got some crazy thing up here. I did not give. You know what? I'm so happy about it. I'm going to change the logo for Credit Life. There, you get Sparkle Unicorn Credit Life. No one liked my proposed logo that I proposed because it's a sparkly unicorn and doesn't have anything to do with Credit Life. No, that was great. You did a good job. Good research. I probably should put this back just because we got to look at this one. Do you see the new turbo? Boom. That's one of the turbo ones. I got a lot of weird stuff on here. You want a cat? There you go. All right, so let's hop into the next. Let's hop in the next comment. That's awesome. I appreciate. Read up. Oh my gosh, you guys, learn, absorb it all. It's only going to make life good for you and the people you love. My grandmother added me to her card about 14 years ago. Advice from a banker. It's on my credit. I didn't have a card. I tried to take my name off, but they won't tell me, and grandma died. It's not going to be bad. It'll be fine. If you really want to push it, you can send a letter to every bureau it's on. So, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, or 2 of the 3, or 3 of the 3, or 1 of the 3, saying, hey, this isn't my account. Please remove it from my credit. It's not going to hurt you to have it on. Just like it doesn't help, it doesn't really hurt. If you ever are in that one's so specifically unique. If you're in a mortgage situation and a mortgage underwriter asks you to write an LOX, as they affectionately call them, it's a letter of explanation. You could just literally say, my grandmother added me to her card 14 years ago, advice from a banker. It's on my credit. I don't have a card. Try to take my name off, they wouldn't tell me grandma passed. And I'm sad, so don't ever ask me about it again. Or don't do that. Not if you're trying to get a house. But you get where I'm going with that. That's awesome, guys. Wow, what great questions today. I'm really happy. So I want to sum this up. I want to wrap this up a little bit, sum it up. I think we went a good amount of time. What do we do? 37 minutes on essentially one question. Hey, here we go. Is 680 enough to get a new car with a decent interest rate? Yes. It'll be even better if you have a trade-in or a little money down, but 680 is great. Now, I'm going to say something contrary to what a lot of popular thought is. Have the dealer pull the credit for it. They've got access to more programs than your credit union or whomever, and they're going to be able to get you a better deal. They typically almost always are. All right. My brother recently came out of bankruptcy. Is it not okay to add him? Well, you can add him, but this is not how you rebuild. I actually have an entire video up. If you go into the media section of the group, like where you'd find pictures that have been posted, if you scroll through the videos, I've got one specifically where I'm sitting behind my murder bar here. Got a horror themed bar going on, where I'm sitting behind the bar, and I did a what to do after a bankruptcy, how to rebound from bankruptcy, and it's legit step by step. It's worth a little bit of a dig. You'll be absolutely perfect there. It's not gonna hurt them. It's not gonna fix it. All right, guys. So if you do want your own coach, FICO certified credit coach with Credit Life, go to www.bookcoachjd. There we go. .com and pick a day and evening, a time that works for you. You access my calendar directly to set up your discovery call. I've got a limited number, and this isn't a takeaway crazy thing. Literally, I can only handle so many clients at a time. I've had some graduate. I got room right now for about 21 more over and above what I've got in my calendar. So grab a space. If you're interested in hiring Credit Life, go to www.bookcoachjd.com. Pick a time. We'll do a consultation. There's no cost for the consult. It's to find out if we're all a fit. We'll talk about what's on your credit, what your goals are, what prompted you to reach out, and put together a plan and steps, action items, and get you enrolled in the right services to get your score and profile in position for that home, for the car, post-bankruptcy, for all the goals that you've got. www.bookcoachjd.com. Quick question here we got. Should I go through my credit union to get a loan when purchasing a new car? I don't. I have a credit union. I go to the dealer. Why do I go to the dealer? Because they've got dealer incentives. And if I'm buying a Ford credit might have a special incentive that my credit union doesn't have. Check with your credit union. I would have them both pull your credit. Have the dealer first and then the credit union. And then it's okay to put them, like you got like toy trucks and you're banging them into each other when you're a little kid. It's like that, hit them against each other. Rock 'em, sock 'em robots for your financing, have them knock their block off, I think is what it was. The rock 'em, sock 'em. Anyone have those little thing, two little robots, red robot, blue robot, and you're literally trying to, I don't know, tear his spine out and have his head flap. It's horrifying when you think about it. Yeah, I would go that route. All right. So I want to wrap this up. So authorized users, there is so much misinformation, and it's not your fault. And it's not the person giving it's fault. I promise you, your banker who told you to do it, your loan officer who told you to do it, your friend, your realtor, your uncle, your whatever who told you to do this, didn't do it to be malicious. They did it because that's what they were taught. And they were taught by someone who was taught that, taught by someone. It's tragic when I do trainings, and when I do trainings with mortgage loan officers on credit, it would blow your mind what they think, and it's because that's what they were taught. It's not their fault. I promise you, it's not their fault. Everyone is really trying to look out for you. I promise you, your banker, your mortgage lender, Susie freaking Orman on TV, everyone's trying to look out for you, and they are, and they have the best of intentions. They just don't always have the best of information. So authorized users, you want to build your own credit. You don't ever want to buy trade lines because that's actually a federal offense and it'll land you in prison. And if anyone wants to argue me on that, I'll show you the case law. You show me the case law where it didn't. Authorized users are for your kid in case their car breaks down. It is for grandma so you can get her groceries. That's what it's for, you guys. But at the end of the day, you have to stand on your own 2 credit feet. But my spouse has amazing credit. Great. What if they die? But I'm going to do the good credit, and we won't worry about my wife. She's an at-home mom. Well, not if you die, she's not. So take care of each other. Take care of ourselves. We're in this together, you guys. Here, real quick, I got a bankruptcy from 2014. And will they take out my credit report? Every single thing on your credit, doesn't matter what it is. Could be big, could be little, could be huge, could be tiny, could be expensive, could be cheap. They're all at the same mercy of having to verify, validate, and document that it's accurate, factual, current, correct, and verifiable as of today when you present Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion with investigation letters. And if they find out it's not verifiable, or if they are not, what am I saying? If they're not, if they don't even respond, I guess, then by law, it's permanently deleted from the credit profile. So yeah, it can be deleted. Perfect, guys. On time since, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. So like I said, authorized users, that's not the way It's not the way to build the credit. If you do want, up in the file section of the group, I've got an article I wrote called Pro Tip. It literally is step by step on how to do your own credit repair. If you want to hire a credit pro, hire me. If you think I'm awful, hire one of the other guys. If you think I'm terrible, by the way, go to Credit Life, CreditLifeVIP.com, and you can book a different coach. If you want me, go to www.bookcoachjd.com. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. If I seem like I'm a little bit off, it's because we did this switch. I'm gonna be here now every single Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time in the free credit repair advice group on Facebook and on Credit TV live on YouTube. I'm Jeremy Dysock, FICO certified credit coach. Thanks a lot. You have a fantastic night. Bye-bye.
Today, everything is impacted by credit, so it's absolutely vital to understand how credit works in order to achieve financial freedom.
This is why we started Credit Life, so that we can empower others to shift their money mindset and access better investment and credit opportunities.
We want to maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. With our programs and strategies, we can expedite the process of improving your credit profile and credit score.
Despite what many believe, how we manage our money is far more important than how much money we make.
A lot of people are concerned about their ability to qualify for a mortgage, lowering their interest rates, or just managing their debt.
Through our coaching programs and our trademark Credit Builder Blueprint, our clients not only save money and lower their interest rates, but learn how to get out of debt and finally achieve peace of mind.
We don't just support our clients' financial goals, we educate and empower them to create long-term strategies.
If you're trying to buy a home, start a new business, get a loan, get out of debt, or just want to improve your credit score, visit us online and fill out the contact request form.